Hey, welcome everybody to this special video, which is going to celebrate 3 years of my horror comic Malice Mansion. That is correct. I released this on Tapas on April 14th, 2023, and now today, as I'm uploading this, is April 14th, 2026. Oh yeah. You know, I actually first introduced, or I officially introduced this series on YouTube. Like it was 2022. Yeah, it was that year. You may have seen it in the past, but it's right there. I just introduced it. So I didn't really do anything for the past 2 years about the anniversary. I just thought people would not care. Actually, I think I did do something on the first anniversary. I think it was a live stream. Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, this is just a quick video, just me just talking about the comic itself, the characters, just a little recap, and a little pitch to some of you who never heard of this before, and of course talk about the future and my and where the story will go. Just it's gonna be fun, but nothing too editing into nothing too intense. I just want to relax and just talk about this without having to edit too much, because as many of you all know, I have a day job, so I don't have a lot of time for YouTube. But this right here, I have to make time. How can I not talk about this? But yeah, here is the title card. Of course, it's this is Malice Mansion. Of course. Okay, let's just start. Due to my strong personal convictions, I wish to stress that this graphic novel in no way endorses a belief in killer children. JFM. That's true. I don't believe in killer children. Even though in this comic, in this story, the kids, they kill each other. Why? Who knows? They just turn crazy when they enter this mansion. And yeah, if this looks familiar to you, I just copied it from the very beginning of Michael Jackson's Thriller. Yeah, I am a copycat. But yeah, I just thought that little disclaimer was kind of, creepy in itself, so I just want to make my own. Same font and everything. Would you believe it? Yeah, so that's fun. So here we go. This is a little elevator pitch or whatever. The kids aren't alright. Katie Hafton is hated by everyone. The town, her school, her mother, but no one hates Katie more than herself. Life would be better for everyone if she could just stop existing. Little does she know, the opportunity is about to present itself in the form of a field trip to the mysterious Vinewood Manor. Will Katie let herself become a victim to the torture and torment waiting within those walls? Or will she fight to save her life and those of her classmates? Join Katie and the rest of Miss Bell's 4th grade class as they try to survive the worst and possibly last day of their lives. Descend into madness, April 14th, 2023. MaliceMansion.com. The website doesn't exist, at least not yet. It's currently in its beginning stages, which I forgot to put it in this little slideshow here. But yeah, I have 2 images ready for the website, and I have plenty more to do. But yeah, it's going to be a long process. But I swear I would make the Malice Mansion website. There you could read the webcomic in its full, uncensored self. More on that later. And here we go. This is a promo pic that I just finished today. Escape Malice Mansion. Now you see Katie in the background, looking like her creepy, uncanny self, just staring coldly at us. And in the foreground we see the classmates, superimposed into the letters. Escape Malice Mansion. 19 letters exactly. While Katie is the 20th student in the back. So I thought this is a cool little promo, So yeah, I actually made special different images of the characters. I didn't want to reuse the same promotional renders or something like that. I wanted to make new ones, and I have them right here. These are the new renders I'm going to use for their biographies on the website, and I also use them to celebrate their birthdays. Like if it's a character's birthday, I use they're the same image. But this is a good opportunity to learn about the kids. So let's start in the very bottom here. Yeah, here is Heidi. She is the youngest and the smallest in the class. She loves sheep, and she loves to play hide and seek because she's sneaky like that. She's a sneaky kid, sometimes too sneaky. You gotta be careful with her. She can be, she can be very dangerous. You just gotta keep an eye on her. And a little fun fact about her, she has the most creepy sounding cry. Like, if she does, hurt herself or whatever, she does cry, and it's like the most unbearable noise. Like, you feel, to the point that you feel so, sad. It's one of those things. But yeah, that's Heidi. She loves sheep, and her last name is Lamb, so it just fits, Yeah. And here's Cameron, too cool for school. The bad boy of the class, He loves to swear. He likes to wear his hat when the teachers aren't looking. He often visits the principal. Something's up with this kid. He's also the only boy in class to have a cell phone. He actually got that cell phone on his birthday. That will play into the story. Alright, and here's Jessie. She is Katie's best friend, even though sometimes, Katie doesn't really... most of the time, Katie doesn't like being around her, but Jessie loves Katie, The rest of the kids are, afraid of her, but Jessie loves Katie, She loves being around her, she thinks she's cool, and Jessie is just all around fun to be around, because she is the most positive little thing. She wants everybody to be happy. She loves to watch, funny cartoons. She loves to watch comedy. She hates horror, and she hates hurting people. Even hurting their feelings. She doesn't like that. Yeah, and the main character right here. Here's Katie Hafton. There's lots to unpack about her. I mean, well, how we got here, she was just a normal kid up until the very end of 3rd grade, where she went to a place called Lofton Hills, or Lofton Gardens, and right there, she just attacked a grown man out of nowhere. No one knows how, but yeah, she almost beat him to death. He was bleeding on the ground, and she was arrested. And of course, there was a news article about her, but of course, since she's a minor, they hid her identity, but somehow her identity leaked, and it spread around the school. And so when 4th grade started, people just didn't want her to be in school. They all thought she was too dangerous. But with the help of the teacher and the principal, they actually helped Katie, get in Miss Bell's class and tried to make things normal for her, but the kids won't let her. Things were very rough in the beginning, but now it's like April time, 1 month left of school or something. The kids have mellowed out, but they still don't like her. So yeah, she's very abrasive, very distant, cold, but I don't want her to be unlikable. She does have emotions. She does feel remorse when she hurts somebody's feelings, like her dad's feelings. She does actually feel sorry for her behavior. So she does smile, rarely. But, I don't want her to be the kind of moody type to just where people are like, oh, I don't like her. I want her to be sympathetic. Because she's her situation's tragic. And yeah, that's all I'll say about the main character here. Here we go, and here's Billy. He is a strange case because for most of the year, he's been kind of distant around Katie. He's been observing her this whole time, and it isn't until chapter 2 where he actually gets to be more open around Katie, and even that surprises her. But Billy, he's a brave kid. He stands up for others, stands up to bullies, and he wants to protect people. He wants to protect his classmates. So that'll come in handy when things go down in the mansion. Now, this girl, this is Madison. She is a very mean girl. She's probably just as mean, if not meaner, than Cameron. She just doesn't want to be around her classmates. It's kind of funny how all the classmates don't want to be around Katie, but they're fine with Madison here, even though she's a meanie. To certain classmates, she can be too mean. Like in chapter 2, she's been mean to Jonathan. I don't know why. Maybe because she thinks he's weak. He acts like a baby. She doesn't like that. She's in a hurry to grow up. So, yeah. And look at this weirdo. This is Robert. He is a strange case. He has his own lingo. He makes up his own words. He's those strange people in the movie Demolition Man. In the future, he can kind of act like them. But yeah, he loves to eat, and I know, fat person. Excuse me. I know that's a little stereotype, but yeah, I try to stay away from the stereotypes. But he does love to eat, but eating is not his whole personality. He just he's a very smart kid, and he gets A's all the time, and he actually helps his classmates when they ask. So yeah, but there are some moments where he can be too selfish. And boy, when the mansion affects him, he's gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be wild. Speaking of wild, here is Mike. He is what many would call the cutest boy in the class. He's charismatic. He loves to dance. And he's a charmer, that Mike. So. And that's all I'll say. Oh yeah, he's a wrestling fan. He loves to watch pro wrestling. Him and Billy would talk about pro wrestling here and there. Oh, and Billy loves sports. But yeah. And here's Sunny. She is a lover of dolls. She has a big doll collection, and she loves to watch TV, movies, and a little fun fact about her, she is half Hispanic, half black. So yeah, I think her full name is Sunny Esmeralda Parker. Yeah, Sep. That's what that's her initials there. And here we have Michaela. She is, I think she's the tallest girl, most mature, and she loves to bake. She's very nice. She's a teacher's pet. She loves the teacher. She wants to help the teacher all the time, and actually helps out. She's like the class's big sister in a way. And she's very feminine. She likes to wear dresses. Rarely wears pants. She prefers skirts. But that's how she is. Oh, and she loves dinosaurs. Dinosaurs is one of her hobbies to study. And next to her is Darius. He wears the same type of clothing every day. Jerseys, sport jerseys, with a t-shirt underneath. That's just his design there. But he loves cars. He wants to be a mechanic when he grows up, just like his dad. And he's very nice and laid back. He's one of the very few classmates who was nice to Katie. And here's Jonathan with his hair slicked back. Usually his hair is messy, but he is a very strange kid, very quiet kid. He loves his action figure, Captain Maximum. He brings that action figure to class every day to keep him company and make him feel brave. Well, he's going to need that bravery in the mansion. And then there's this kid, Chris. Crazy Chris. He always looks like this because he has like ADHD or something like that. It's hard for him to stay attentive in class, you know. But he's very interested in like explosions, fire, action scenes. He loves action movies, and you know he would hop up and down, and he would run around in recess. He's a very energetic kid. And here's this dork, Brandon. Yeah. Brandon is the practical joker in the class. He loves clowns. He is obsessed with this one clown on YouTube, or their own version of YouTube, called Donald, the Great Hamburger Clown. It's like Jake Paul meeting Ronald McDonald. And, you know, that character, he plays pranks on people and whatnot. And he eats hamburgers at the end of every video. Very strange. But yeah, this is what Brandon loves, you know. He loves that guy. He loves practical jokes, you know. Even if it hurts others, he doesn't think he's doing any harm, you know. But he's crazy. He is a clown. And here's Linda. You know, she wants to be a comedian when she grows up. You know, she tries to tell jokes, you know. She reads a whole bunch of joke books, but she's not funny, you know. She tries to tell jokes to her classmates, to teachers, to her own family, but they don't think that she's funny. You know, I guess her mom kind of, you know, encourages her, you know, pretends that she's funny, you know, and she's a little archetype. She's the girl loser in the class. You know, girl losers. Just like Kobeni in Chainsaw Man. Pomni from the Great Digital Circus. Girl losers, you know. People that feel bad for her or them. And I want people to feel bad for Linda. She is an innocent soul. Really. She just wants to make people laugh. But if people don't laugh at her jokes, she cries. Really, she is a crybaby. That's her charm, you know. And here's Adam. Well dressed. Very well dressed kid. You know, very mature. He has this politician vibe. Actually makes little speeches. Almost like a young Barack Obama. Kinda. And he wears braces. You know, kind of young to wear braces. He's like 10. So, I don't know. Maybe 10-year-olds wear braces. I don't know. I didn't wear braces until I was in middle school, but yeah, it's I guess it's possible. Maybe his parents, you know, saw a little bit of crooked teeth, and they're like, "Oh man, we gotta, you know, get him on braces." Have all his adult teeth grown in? I don't know. Well, we'll see. Yeah, and here's Brittany. You know, she loves to learn about the human anatomy. You know, she has all these health books. Human body books, you know, all that jazz. She can be, you know, she pays attention in class, but you know, she's just not interested in like the usual things that kids are interested in. You know, she just wants to be a doctor, and she goes up and she wants to know everything she can. I mean, there are some days where she can relax and just play games, but in her free time, she just wants to study and learn. And here's a girl who does not want to study and learn. She just wants to have fun and look cute and basically goof off. And this is Shelly. Shelly really hates Katie. She is self-centered and, you know, a bit narcissistic. You know, kind of like Ashley in my other comic, but yeah, that's Shelly in a nutshell, you know. And here is Misty. She's a very cool gal, expert on unicorns. She thinks unicorns are real and fairies. So, you know, she would travel or explore around her house, try to find a unicorn. And she would tell her best friend Amanda here on what she found and whatnot. And she tries to be an artist, just like Amanda. Speaking of Amanda, here she is. Well, saving the best for last. You know, she's my favorite character, and of course, mascot of my whole channel. Kind of weird how that happened, but yeah, originally I created her to be in this comic a long time ago, and she is still a character. So yeah, about Amanda, she is the best artist in the class. You know, she's very nice to others except for Katie. She hates Katie. You know, and Amanda can be very very petty when it comes to Katie and whatnot. But you know, you never know. She might change. And those are all the kids. And here we go. Here is the main event of this little video. Malice Mansion's chapters. So, how this story will be structured, there will be 26 chapters. It's always been 26 chapters for a good reason. But, yeah, when it comes to stories, some stories are divided into 3 acts. For me, I like to divide my stories into 4 acts. So, when Malice Mansion when I release physical books, there will be 4 books. And each book is 1 act. So Act 1 is, 6 chapters. Act 2 is 7 chapters. Act 3, 6 chapters again. And Act 4 is 7 chapters. So, yeah, I already released the first 4 chapters on Tapas. I'm currently making Chapter 5, Would You Cry? And then Shut Up Phone. Then Chapter 6, Last Ride. I guess I should go over these a little bit, just a little bit. I won't go over too much because I don't want to spoil things. I'll just go over what's going on in Act 1, or maybe to Act 2. But yeah, after I'm done with Chapter 6, I'm gonna release the first book. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, the infamous Katie Hafton. This is where we get introduced to her and her family. Chapter 2 is when we get introduced to the whole class and their dynamic and how they treat Katie and Katie's everyday life in that school. Guilty Conscience. We get to learn a little bit about Katie's past and how she became who she is. The party. This is a little party that happens a day before the mansion incident, and it's the most lighthearted chapter in the whole entire story. Chapter 5 happens right after the party. It's recess, the same day, and it's a very emotional moment with Katie and Jesse talking, and we would know what happened to Katie in that incident when she assaulted that man. So it's pretty heavy. Last Ride is the next day. That is the bus ride to the mansion. Chapter 7, Vinewood Manor. The kids take a tour, or they start to take a tour. We are introduced to the manor's caretakers. They're very weird caretakers. So yeah, lockdown. That's when the kids get separated, and all the doors and windows get locked. Going mad, inner demons, seeing red. This is when, of course, things go down. And things just, what hits the fan. You know what? You know what I mean? And oh my gosh, I forgot to capitalize this G. Oh well. Yeah. It's a lot of these the chapter names are not final. It may change, but some of these are kind of catchy, I guess. But yeah, that's my little plan. After chapter 6 is done, I'll see if I can make book 1, and then book 2 will be made after I'm done with these 3 or these 7 chapters. Yeah, I can't talk. It's like 10 at night, and I usually I would be asleep by then, but I gotta make this video for you guys. I have to. Come on, Malice Mansion 3rd anniversary. Anyway, whoops. There's that. There's a little fun little background here. And I'm gonna quickly go over the evolution of Katie here. So this is how she looked like back in 2006. Yeah, very strange pose. I colored this with colored pencil, and yeah, that face or that head is very strange. I don't know. And here she is with a gun. That is not a good-looking gun at all. Jeez, no reference. This is how she looks like in '06, and here she is in 2009. Now try to, I was still kind of new in digital art, and I zoom in here, you see some blurry line work here, not very good. Kind of hard to think kind of hard to believe that I thought this was passable. And here's a gun, a little better looking than the other gun, but still kind of strange. And here she is again. This is Katie in 2018. Her hair has gotten better. She's covered in blood for some reason. I mean, I don't know. And here's the gun again. I don't know. I kind of ditched the gun with her, but this is going to be, when it was more action oriented, and I just did. The background here was pretty quick. I remember doing this in a stream in 2018, and I thought this was the worst thing I've ever drawn. And I know I'm kind of too harsh on myself here, but yeah, I could have done better. But still, it was the best I could do at the time. Here's something more recent. Here is Katie, 2022. Here, the line art is much better. And here, this is the aftermath of how, just chapter, chapter 24 or something. Yeah. Yeah, so this is outside the mansion. So she managed to escape, but she's looking back at something. Yeah, so she's not having a good time. Oh my gosh, here is the old logo. I did not try, man. I don't know. It just doesn't scream horror at to us. This one, it's hard to read, and it's very, very strange. Too cartoonish. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, and here's some promo pics, or some creepy images to promote the comic. Here's Madison looking strange. Now here's something old. Malice Mansion original soundtrack. And Robert in the background. Oh yeah, but back then it was gonna be a more supernatural horror, so that's why you see a ghost here. But no, this mansion or this story is all about the kids going crazy and killing each other. So no supernatural things happening. And here's a design of the old book. Yeah, fake barcode and everything. Yeah, so I forgot where I found this little mansion here, but I photoshopped everything. And of course the mansion's current design is based off of this here. But yeah, this was back when things were supernatural and they were being hunted by a ghost. Oh yeah, and back in 2014 I actually revisited Malice Mansion and just doing my own concept art, whatever, and kids were gonna bleed through their noses at some point. But now it's a plot device where Katie actually bleeds through her nose whenever she takes her medicine. It's like a little side effect. And here's the old poster. See the kids here. It's kind of hard to explain these three, the little black mages. Yeah, fantasy creatures in this story. And it used to be called DJ's Grave. And it's a monstrous version of Jeff's evil clone from my other story. But yeah, I actually made this back in 2006. And it's kind of hard to see it's kind of hard to see the date, but it was around April of 2006 when I finished this. So that's why April is the Malice Mansion month. More promotional pictures. Amanda somehow will have a very bloody hand. She's going through it. Here's another promo pic. I think this is the more updated version of this poster here. Yep, so got all the kids here. And here's another poster. Kids can scare you to death. And yeah, as for the faces here, these are called uncanny faces. And it's a little side effect when if people stay in the mansion for too long, they will start hallucinating or start seeing some weird things. When you see your friends' faces, they look distorted and it looks scary. And each kid have their own scary face. And a lot of these are just, concepts or whatever, nothing too final. But yeah, some of these kids, they look too realistic here, and I thought it was creepy. So I think I'm gonna play with it. So I like the idea. Another promotional poster. I like this. I like the composition here. I like the moon. Fun fact: the moon looked like this back in April 14th, 2023. So, in this date where the mansion incident actually occurred, the moon will look like this. I'm a stickler for details. I even studied the weather in Colorado where this takes place. So yeah. And yeah, here's the Malice Mansion soundtrack. Another brick in the wall Malice Mansion mix. I actually have this in my playlist. Actually mixed it myself. I might release it in this channel if you guys are interested. I might release the whole song. It's like 14 minutes long, but it's good. I think it's good. The Kids Aren't Alright by The Offspring, Medication by Garbage, Move Along by the All American Rejects, Helpless by D Generation, Twister by Saliva, The Chosen One by A2, Break In to Break Out by Lynn, Why or Why Not by Katakiri Rika, Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, My Little Box by John Frizzle, Haunting Me by Stabbing Westward, It Ends Tonight by All American Rejects, The Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony, The Red by Chevelle, Love Train by Tommy Lee, Butterfly with Teeth, Seether, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 by Class of 99, and Our Light by Akane Sasusora. Oh yeah, that's a mouthful right there. So yeah, that's nothing too official. I just made this for fun, but all these songs, they're Malice Mansion related. Why are the kids staring at me? Because it is the soundtrack. I don't know. I am very tired. I'm so sorry. They're looking at me saying, go to sleep. Okay. And this is another old picture. I actually made this back in 2012. The kids, they're starting to look like their more modern selves. Trying to, make their got a good grip of their personalities. Yeah, this was before I actually made Darius, Misty, and Sunny, so they're not here. And, Heidi looks so different now. Yeah, here's another promo picture, or concept art. This will happen in a chapter, I think chapter 17. But yeah, it's very dramatic. It's, it's very important for Katie to go through this. A little session. Oh, and here, I actually finished this a couple weeks ago. But, Darius will see something very disturbing. Something that no kid would ever want to see. But you see some, heavy blood in the foreground here. Yeah, I actually made this a few years ago. But, little something. It's scary, going down a corridor where there's a scary portrait in the end. Yeah. Oh yes, right here. This is where Heidi, gets super panicked and throws up. She's right here. She's separated from the rest of the group. She's just nervous about something. Here, Jesse goes crazy. This is Katie's perspective here. Here, Shelley goes crazy. This is a very important moment in the comic. This happens near the end of chapter 9. Yeah, this is where moments like after this, we will see Shelley's like uncanny face, and I want that face to be terrifying. You know, I want it to be so terrifying that the reader would either want to continue reading or quit. You know, that's my goal. You know, and usually I don't draw scary things, but I'm gonna try. Yeah, and here's something that will happen in the comic. Brittany will cut up Sunny's face. And here, one of the tour guides, or the main tour guide, Q, is being a little too friendly with the young Mike here. So, both Amanda and Billy are suspicious. And Chris is doing his own thing back here. Brandon with the clown mask. Brittany with a human heart. She's very excited to learn about human anatomy in this room. And here is Michaela with a hammer. This will happen in the comic. I don't know what chapter, but yeah. Michaela with a hammer is not a good thing. No, and she looks to be too happy to hold that bloody hammer. Yeah. And last but not least, here is the official poster to promote the whole comic. This manor is to die for, and here's that moon. You know. And now that I look at it, this mansion looks a bit crooked, but I think it works. You know, because this, things inside the mansion are supposed to look off, and it's supposed to bother people in a unconscious level. So yeah, you have all of the main kids here in the mansion, of course. Rated M. Strong language, graphic violence, blood and gore, suggestive themes, frightening images, and emotional abuse. All that fun stuff. So, yeah, that is it for me. Yeah, it's a very mellow video. I hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. And if you want to listen to, or excuse me, if you want to read Malice Mansion, I have the link in the description below to the Tapas, where you can read the first 4 chapters. And chapter 5, I'm planning to release at the end of May. So, there you have it. That's Malice Mansion. Yeah, that's it. I am tired, of course. That's what I get for doing things in the last minute, you know. Sorry for being kind of low energy, but I'll see what I can do for next year's anniversary. Maybe something more production heavy, if I have the time. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Maybe a little later this week, and I'll talk to you later as my theme song goes. Okay, JFM out. Goodbye.